The BJP is now its eyes set on Tamil Nadu as it goes to polls next year. Home Minister Amit Shah today sounded the poll bugle in the state as he visited Chennai. Amit Shah there in his speech at a public event lashed out at DMK and the Congress, saying that the BJP will defeat the family-based parties in Tamil Nadu, while the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu now, Edappadi Palaniswamy, has openly declared the alliance with the BJP, saying that they will fight the upcoming assembly elections together. Here's more on that.
Chennai all decked up. Flowers, drums and BJP flags along the streets. It was a grand welcome for Home Minister Amit Shah as he visited the city 6 months ahead of Assembly Polls in Tamil Nadu. Both Chief Minister EPS and his Deputy OPS were there at the airport to welcome him.
The arrival terminal of the Chennai airport has been completely decked up by the BJP cadres. This is the kind of welcome that is being given to Union Minister Amit Shah. Plantain, sugarcane, flower decorations are seen all across this place. We're seeing that BJP flags have been erected. Similarly, posters have been put up for welcoming Amit Shah.
Shah, on his way to the hotel, got off from his car to greet his supporters. Amit Shah storming Chennai and making his party's intentions clear. BJP is coming with full force in a bid to make inroads in a state where it has so far failed to make any mark. Shah launched several big-ticket projects in a mega development push and lavish praise on CM EPS.
महान एमजीआर और लोक नेत्री जयललिता जी के नेतृत्व में तमिलनाडु ने जिस तरह से विकास किया था, मुझे भरोसा है कि पलानीस्वामी जी के नेतृत्व में तमिलनाडु इसी रास्ते पर आगे बढ़कर देश का सबसे अच्छा राज्य बन सकता है.
While BJP's relations with the ruling AIADMK have been strained in recent times over the Vetrivel Yatra, but the Chief Minister dismissed all speculations about any threat to the alliance.
நாடாளுமன்ற தேர்தலில் அமைக்கப்பட்ட கூட்டணி தொடரும் என்பதை இந்த நேரத்தில் தெரிவித்து அனைத்து இந்திய அண்ணா திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகம் 10 ஆண்டு காலம் சிறப்பான ஆட்சி தந்திருக்கின்றது. பல்வேறு திட்டங்களை தமிழ்நாட்டு மக்களுக்கு தந்திருக்கின்றது. இன்றைக்கு தேசிய அளவிலே பல்வேறு விருதுகளை நாங்கள் பெற்றிருக்கின்றோம். எல்லா துறைகளிலும் விருதுகளை குவித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றோம். அந்த அளவுக்கு சிறப்பான ஆட்சி தமிழகத்தில் இன்று நடைபெற்றுக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றது. மீண்டும் வருகின்ற 2021 சட்டமன்ற பொதுத் தேர்தலில் எங்களுடைய கூட்டணி அதிக இடங்களிலே பெருமான இடங்களிலே வெற்றி பெற்று
मैं एक ही आंकड़ा देना चाहता हूं.
Amit Shah also listed out the various schemes of the Narendra Modi government that have helped the people of Tamil Nadu while lashing out at the DMK Congress alliance.
13-14 के बजट में मैं कई बार डीएमके के नेताओं को सुनता हूं तो तमिलनाडु के अन्याय की बात करते हैं कि 10 साल आपकी केंद्र में सरकार थी और 10 साल तक आपने तमिलनाडु को क्या-क्या दिया, इसका हिसाब किताब लेकर चेन्नई के किसी भी चौराहे पर आप खड़े हो जाइए, हम जवाब देने के लिए आपको तैयार है कि हमने ज्यादा मदद करी है तमिलनाडु को या केंद्र सरकार आपकी थी तब.
Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister will pay floral.
Earlier, the Home Minister also paid floral tributes to former Tamil Nadu Chief Ministers MGR and Jayalalitha and held a meeting with state BJP leaders, including district presidents of the party. In a boost to the BJP, KP Ramalingam, who is a close aide of MK Alagiri, joined the party on Saturday and claimed Alagiri could follow suit.
BJP is an ethic-based party, so I am joined. Yes. I'm still having a close relation with him, but I will try to manage him to bring BJP.
To join BJP?
Yes, I will try, but up to him to decide.
Shah's sounding of the poll bugle shows that the BJP is all set to make its landing in Tamil Nadu ahead of the 2021 state assembly polls. But the BJP is well aware that it cannot make inroads in the state without the stronghold Dravidian political support. And hence, the AIADMK is seen as a very formidable partnership. And now, ahead of the elections, they will ensure that they have all the key supporters in their deck to ensure that they emerge victorious in the upcoming polls. With camera person Daniel from Chennai, this is Akshay Nath for India Today.
Cutting across to our guest joining us to give us the perspective on the BJP's chances this time, along with the AIADMK. Will they really beat the wave of anti-incumbency that prevails in Tamil Nadu? Or is there anti-incumbency at all, considering the AIADMK has somehow managed to pull off the COVID fight, and how? Tom Vadakan joining us, BJP spokesperson, Narayan Lakshman, who is a senior journalist, as well as Muralidharan S, political analyst, to give us a perspective. I'll cut straight across to Muralidharan S, a political analyst here. Muralidharan, here is the BJP and the AIADMK openly announcing their alliance and their pact ahead of the assembly polls. So far, it appeared that the AIADMK was somehow trying to disassociate from the BJP, at least seemingly. They were trying to posture themselves as a proper Dravidian party, not wanting to involve themselves with national political parties and their focus on the people of Tamil Nadu. But here, it was sheer surrender when Tamil Nadu, you had Amit Shah arrive into Tamil Nadu. AIADMK has completely surrendered, announcing their alliance.
I don't think so. I think it's, it's end of the day, BJP in the center, it's definitely power, a booster for Tamil Nadu. And that's probably the reason, there was a little bit of, ideological difference between that. AIADMK wanted to show that, prove it to BJP that, they can stand on their own. They don't need BJP support always. And the way they fought COVID, I mean, you can compare it with Delhi, Kerala, any other state. Other than, I think, UP, all of them fall behind Tamil Nadu. They've done a fantastic job. Not only that, even in the NEET results, a NEET issue, they came out with the 7.5% reservation, which is a unique thing and which actually is true social justice, because some 300 government school students are for the first time going to get seats for medical seats. And it's not based on caste. So they actually go moving ahead, moving, in a faster space than even the DMK and others can dream of. I think the BJP saw that, the improvement and whatever Mr. Edappadi is doing, and he's been done in the past few years after the demise of Amma. And in Tamil Nadu, probably will become a water surplus state very shortly, the kind of efforts they are put in. So I think this is exactly like the Bihar situation. BJP has to pile on to somebody. I think ADMK is the best for that.
But it was more of the AIADMK there announcing its association and less of Amit Shah there really speaking on lines of an alliance. Narayan Lakshman, if you can take us through, do you feel that the AIADMK has shown so much respect to Amit Shah right when he landed that they have forgotten about their political posturing and the fact that they tried to distance themselves from the BJP all along and all out announced their association and saying very confidently that they're going to fight the upcoming assembly polls together with the BJP? While you saw quite amount of animosity with regards to the Vel Yatra very recently with the BJP wanted to carry out, AIADMK did not give permission. It looked like it was trying to posture itself as a proper party for the people of Tamil Nadu, sans national involvement. But here it seemed like a huge spin that happened today and a proper announcement of being an ally of the BJP.
Well, that's a good question, Nabila. I think this is an alliance of necessity, and the reason for that is the AIADMK government, I must agree with Muralidharan, that has kind of proven its mettle over the last few years. Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy was a relatively unknown name in state politics before that. He was, of course, known in the regions he represents. But thrust into the chief ministerial chair, he has proven his credential for good governance over the last few years until now. And I think it is, as you rightly said, it is more the case of the AIADMK deciding that it would allow such an alliance to work out rather than the BJP grandly announcing anything. The BJP is a very, very minuscule player here and not of much consequence at all, because that's just the way the Dravidian politics is played out since 1967 when the DMK came to power. So I think this alliance is one of necessity because in the state, the ADMK is the dominant force. But at the central government level, obviously, the BJP is in charge and it is footprint across India is expanding aggressively. based on the Hindutva politics that it practices. And like it or not, given our federal structure and the division of power between center and state, every state government has to play ball with the center. And therefore, even though they are a very, very strong player in Tamil Nadu and can stand on their own actually within the state, they need to have an ally at the central government level for disbursal of funds and so forth. So for that reason, it is a practical alliance. But at the same time, like you said rightly, there are very deep ideological faults which could become serious over time and which could seriously
you
endanger
said a
the
very
relationship.
practical alliance, but how well will this go down with the people of Tamil Nadu who've so far not allowed the BJP, nor the Congress for that matter, who they wiped out recently, into Tamil Nadu politics? Tom Vadakan joining us, our BJP spokesperson. Mr. Vadakan, here we're looking at the BJP there formally trying to hold on to Tamil Nadu. This time around, the first time without senior leaders like Jayalalitha, Karunanidhi, both of them missing in the political arena. This is going to be quite an interesting election coming up. Do you believe that the BJP will manage to make inroads now that the AIADMK is openly agreed to?
Nabila, there are certain introductory remarks that you made. AIADMK surrendered to BJP. The BJP believes in an alliance dharma. That is, it's a two-way partnership. The fact that somebody announced it is only an indication of a host playing to the guest, and it is courtesy extended, and that's also part of Tamil culture. Now, be what it may, this is an alliance that has stood whether the time, the political differences that may have been there, and we have ironed it out. Now, there is no problem on that. Now, the question is, this is just the beginning of one alliance. There are huge surprises awaiting for the people of Tamil Nadu. Let me tell you, development is the agenda. Our Honorable Home Minister has brought a lot of infrastructure projects which he has inaugurated, and the message is loud and clear. Development, development, and development is the agenda. And the people of Tamil Nadu have woken up. They've seen this dynastic parties.
Not true.
Let me complete. Have the courtesy to listen to the other person. The dynastic parties like the Congress Party and the DMK, we have dealt with these dynasties from Jammu and Kashmir to Bihar. These dynastic parties are going to meet their fate. People of Tamil Nadu are going to vote for development, and you can see that in the coming few weeks. The kind of lineup that is happening, people wanting to join the BJP, is going to shock a lot of people.
Right. Narayan Lakshman, is there anything for the DMK to be worried of that Amit Shah arrived in Tamil Nadu and he received such a roaring welcome?
Well, I don't know that it was a roaring welcome. I did see some visuals of him walking along the street from the airport, but that looked like mostly his own supporters. So I would qualify that. At the same time, I'm not sure I agree at all that the BJP is only about development. Yeah, development has been happening for many, many decades now. And what really stands out in the last few years of governance by the BJP is more the divisive communal agenda. Whether you look at what's happened in Kashmir or the CAA or so many other policies which have led to a lot of pushback.
So I did ask you, do you think the people of Tamil Nadu will accept the BJP?
Exactly. No, that's what I'm coming to, which is, I think while they've had a great amount of success with this brand of Hindutva politics across the nation, which seeks to homogenize Indian identity, the question of identity takes on a very different shade in Tamil Nadu, and that is one of a great amount of pride in Tamil sentiment. And that, of course, began with the Dravidian movement, as I said, in 1967. And it has changed its form. It's no longer a harsh or a movement that seeks, to push against other forces. It is more one that speaks up for the common Tamil man and woman. And I don't think the BJP understands this. My own personal understanding is that they continue to look at a pan-Indian politics of Hindutva, and the Tamil voter will... There's a long way to go before the Tamil voter can accept that brand. Unfortunately, whatever you argue, the elections held so far, the 2014, 16 and 19, very, very clearly demonstrate that there has been a pushback to the BJP in terms of its footprint in South India. It is not at all equivalent to what happened in the north.
That has been visible, but will that be different this time around? Muralidharan, here is the AIADMK that's openly associated with the BJP here. Would you believe this is only going to escalate the chances of the AIADMK and will ride over the anti-incumbency that looks evident on ground?
I'll give you two reasons why they're going to win. One is like DMK with their atheist policy, it's more of an anti-Hindu sentiment. Not them, actually the alliances, they got onto targeting BJP, thinking, it's only a Brahminical party. And there is an underlying Brahminical hate which transformed into abusing Hinduism and Hindu gods. That triggered, so much of, outrage in the state. And today, the Vel Yatra, which the BJP leader has taken across the state, it's, gaining a lot of traction for the simple reason it's DMK who's put the foot in the mouth, by abusing Hindus and Hinduism. That's they played into the, hands of BJP, giving them a, red carpet welcome to bring in Hindutva into Tamil Nadu. Now, that's taking traction, one. Second is the Tamil pride that I don't understand. It's become a false Tamil pride because there's not a single kid who can speak Tamil properly without mixing English. So where is this Tamil pride coming off? I know it's actually it's not there. I can't see it.
All right, let me ask that to Mr. Vadakan. Here is the Vel Yatra, which the BJP has received much backlash. On one hand, it's receiving traction. On the other, your own ally that you claim, AIADMK, isn't giving you permission. So is this going to be smooth sailing until the assembly election as an ally partner?
Nabila, there are certain myopic visions which can only be corrected by vision correction. I mean, there's no way you can change their mindset. The earlier panelist who spoke before me, he spoke about, I agree with this mindset that my predecessor spoke, this anti-Brahminical issue. You see, these are short views that have been set into motion. Now, on the Vel Yatra, let me tell you something. What is the position that the AIADMK took? This was an issue they have raised about the COVID situation. It was genuine COVID.
They are very clear that they don't want to divide the people of Tamil Nadu. That's what they said. Vel Yatra, according to them, divides the people of Tamil Nadu. So this is nothing, not just about COVID, it's also about the actual message that the Yatra sends out.
The message of on the COVID Yatra, as we understand, was essentially on COVID. It was the COVID problem that is natural, which any state government will be concerned. Yes, we had problems now. Even Deepavali or even the Bihar festivals and other things were curtailed. Now the point is, when in a pandemic there is a situation. Now to say that the Vel Yatra divided or is a divider, I think is incorrect.
I think on the coming days we'll be able to establish that.
It has got a lot of traction. And I'm sure this will lead to greater traction in future.
All right, Mr. Vadakan, thank you very much. Unfortunately, that's all that we have time for. Thank you very much, Mr. Narayan Lakshman, Mr. Muralidharan, for joining us. Now, BJP, they're trying to make inroads. They've openly declared their alliance with the AIADMK. Only time will tell whether they manage to make a stronghold like they have in many other regions of the country. Thank you for watching.
Icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.